Okay, so I have here the ace of hearts, spades, diamonds, and clubs. Okay, now by approaching my hand, I remove the whole ink from both sides of each ace. Now, how can we restore the ink from the hearts, spades, clubs, and diamonds? Well, this time I'm gonna do something a bit slower. By waving my fingers in front, the ink comes back. Now I have the diamonds, the spades, the hearts, and the clubs. Okay, I will explain the performance and then I will show you some variations. I don't want to do it in the same tutorial because I know it's going to end up being more confused. But I will show you just the performance you just watched and then some variations. For this you need 4 aces with blank backs. Then you need a card with a blank face. There are several ways you can obtain these cards. One way is by buying cards with blank backs, and you can get 4 of a kind. Doesn't have to be aces. And you can buy another deck with blank faces, such as the one I have. And it's gonna become really handy for other purposes. But anyway, the second way you can obtain these cards by just having one of these decks and you don't have the need to buy blank backs is by peeling off just the back of the aces and then peel off the face and stick it in the back of each and every ace or any 4 of a kind you want. That will be a nice professional way to do it. Now you want to learn how to peel off the paper of the card in one piece. Just go to this video footnote on the link number 1. The third way will be just by placing a piece of paper. You don't need to be worried about being glossy because the blank side of the cards has to be rough. Once you already have these cards, put them all together, side by side. Then what I use is this spray, Matte Finish 1311. I've been using this spray for many other purposes. You see that I've been using this spray quite often. But when you spray, don't do it right here. Try to keep the distance, okay? And spray the top half and then go back and spray the bottom half. Then let it dry for about 5 minutes. Then you're ready for the next step, which is putting the aces interlaced in color. And the last one, the blank face, all the way at the end. So this way you can spread the aces and only show 4. Then I begin by doing the audience count. I already have a tutorial for the audience count. If you want to go to this video footnote on the link number 2, I have the tutorial over there. I show all the aces, okay, taking the faces. Then I end up in this situation, okay. I have the blank face, second from the top, but the next step is a color change. You want to learn how to do this color change, you don't have to execute the same color change. For the purpose of the color change, it was to move these 4 bottom cards from the bottom to the top, okay, for them to execute the audience count once again. But I place the index finger over here instead of doing it over here. The reason is because I don't want to flip the pile over. I just rather place it over here, go back and then go forward, as you will normally execute the audience count. And I keep the break over here by my thumb, right on it, so I can lift it up and show the bottom and show the face of this pile. But notice it seems like I'm showing the back of this pile as well, but I'm showing the face and the face by the simple wrist move. And because I'm actually showing the face and the back, because I only have 2 over here and the other 3 aces, I have them over here. And because in this situation I do have the advantage to show the back, in this other pile I just show the front of my hand and then I show the back of my hand, okay. In that wrist move I will expose the face once again and then I'll go back, okay. I show the face and I show the face once again. 2 moves at the same time, it may end up confusing the spectator. Now, these 2 cards, they were on top. I want to put them underneath. You don't have to, but I want to put them underneath. When I finish doing this, put them underneath. And the reason is because I want to execute a second count, which is the frustration count. I already explained this as well in the other video. The frustration count, I don't like it because it's too obvious, but at least because there is no origin, you don't know if this is the face or the back, it may end up confusing a bit more. So when you finish, now I put these two cards right above as it was before. Then I will execute the same color change once again. There are other ways you may manage. You can do another color change different, doesn't have to be the same one, but because the blank side of the cards are rough, it's not gonna be an easy move to execute. So all I did is just moving these 4 cards from the bottom to the top. So we have the 4 aces back to normal, but instead of putting the index finger right in this corner, I will put it in this other corner because I need to execute the Orion count with the aces face up, and because they are face down, I want to place the index in this other corner. So I go back and then go forward. And this is how you end up this routine. I have the blank face over here. Just take the 2 cards from the top, the 2 at the bottom, and you can clearly display without being worried of spreading this blank face card. Now there are some other variations that I execute in another video by doing the Orion count. Then I begin by moving these 4 cards from the bottom to the top. Then I did a keys count. The keys count I do not recommend it for this performance because they need to be completely square, and the last 2 are going to be really tricky to keep on perfectly square. So I do not recommend it in this performance. But then when you finish the last part, I put it underneath to execute the PT frustration count. That's why I put a double underneath to execute another count, the other one, which was the PT frustration count. I show the bottom. This is the situation. So I show the bottom, take the top, show the bottom, show the bottom, just taking the card from the top. I already explained this count as well in this video full note. Just go to this video full note and you see all the different counts that I taught in the other video. And then I did this move by showing the double, front and back, and the wrist move. This is the one I already explained. Then I put it underneath so I can do the frustration count. And then lastly I did again the color change by moving these cards, 4 cards from the bottom to the top. And I did the rumba count, which I already explained the rumba count in the other video as well. Now if you think this move is too complicated because of the color change, you don't want to execute the color change, let me show you this 3rd and final variation. This is what I see from other magicians doing. They just show the aces and then they turn them over. They show the back. Then they take these top 4 cards. I only have 1 ace over here. And move them right behind. And from here, you can do again the Orion count. So you don't need to do any color change, any other move, and that's it. That's the only variation. Then you can show the faces once again instead of doing the color change, and take the top 4 cards from the top to the bottom, and do again the Orion count. And that's it. You already end up this routine by doing just the Orion count.